Holy Warp Core. Picard actually said engage with actual energy, emotion, and a sense of command. What just happened? Welcome, sailors and starnauts. I am Captain Garrett, and this is my review of Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 2, Engage. And boy, does it live up to that title. I am fairly amazed that Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc Picard, for the first time ever in this series, took command and was a leader. I cannot believe it. One of the biggest problems with Season 1 and 2 of Star Trek Picard was that I tried to save the Romulans, and what you don't understand. Most of this season was people yelling at Picard about how he had screwed them over, how he'd left them behind, how he was not the man he used to be, and he basically just spends the whole season getting browbeaten. There is one scene in the first season. I had spent 7 or 8 episodes waiting for Captain Picard to do something. I know he's an admiral. I'm just going to call him Captain Picard. Just do little things that indicated there was an agency to the character, a sense of leadership still. Captain Rios, he gives up the captain's chair for just a minute, and Picard is walking over to the chair. He's done nothing with any agency the whole season up to this point, but he actually sits down and he's about to give the order, and he gets all wound up, and he's about to do the engage, and instead of that, he just says, "I have no idea what I'm doing." And everyone has a good laugh. Oh, that's our Picard. Get out of that chair, old geezer. We'll drive the ship. You don't have to worry about nothing. Go take your pills. Have you taken your pills? This is the crap we were treated to Picard Season 1 and 2. So forgive my skepticism, dear viewer, if I was simply not expecting much from Season 3, notwithstanding Robert Meyer Burnett's protestations to the contrary. And frankly, in Episode 1, I chalked up most of Picard's passable energy and performance and air of initiative and command. I chalked most of that up to Riker, honestly, because he had Riker there, and the two characters could kind of play off each other. There were a couple of moments where Picard sort of suggests something or seems to kind of have an idea, but generally Riker was kind of taking the lead. There is a moment when the characters are in peril, they're trying to figure out what to do, and Picard actually starts doing something without anyone telling him what to do, and he doesn't even tell anyone what he's doing. He just starts doing something, and they're like, "What are you doing, Admiral?" And he's like, "I'm setting up transport inhibitors." Why? Why would you do that? Now, that's kind of a dumb line, because isn't it freaking obvious why you would set up transport inhibitors? But he's setting up these little transport, and then someone starts to get beamed, and and you see the flicker. The transport is they're trying to take him off the ship, and he says, "That's why." And I'm like, wait, are you telling me that old geezer Captain Admiral Picard Captain had an idea, didn't ask permission, did it, and it worked, and it was a good idea? This is not the same show, folks. One of my major critiques of the first season of Picard is I chalked up a lot of the problems to really Patrick Stewart's performance. There was just so little energy. I think I was wrong about that. Because now that he's got an actually good writer, Terry Matalas, writing his lines, in subtle ways, he's taking initiative, he has ideas. There's even a scene where he's arguing with a character in a kind of judicial sort of way like he used to do, where he's saying, "I need to hear an argument for this outcome." I don't want to spoil what it is, but he's basically like, "I need to hear an argument from you that convinces me." And I was like, damn, this is like old school Picard. In the final act of the episode, without giving you spoilers, there is a powerful emotional moment when the characters are put to a very life and death decision. And kind of out of nowhere, Picard takes command. And it's excellent. It is almost at the level of Picard back in the day. It is almost that commanding and powerful. And he says the word engage. And when he says it, it lands with impact. And it's not a joke. It's not a, oh, one for the road for old time's sake, one for the Gipper. No, it is a meaningful command, and it is executing a meaningful action. And he commands it at a moment of critical timing. Mr. Kurtzman, please read the script that Terry Matalas wrote, because maybe you'll learn how to effing write. I would consider this your homework, to go back to the drawing board, to actually learn how to not be an absolute shit creator, imposter, hack. Because it is amazing, the almost miraculous turnaround of this character, because he just simply has a script that takes his character seriously, gives him agency, gives him a purpose that is meaningful, and even there is an underlying emotion to the character that brings him to life. There's a reason why he takes command that is powerful, and it is connected deeply to his character. It isn't even just that Kurtzman and Goldsman are such crap, garbage writers and creatives, directors, produce. Pretty much everything they do is worthless. They should sell insurance or something. I think they should dig ditches for a living. That would be much more useful. I don't think they really have the constitution for it, though. Let's go to Rafi's storyline. The show wanted you to immediately accept her as this old chum of Picard's. Oh, this old so-and-so he used to know. And it's like, but he didn't know her. Not from our perspective as next-gen fans. This character completely antithetical to most types of people that Picard would have associated with. Picard was an intellectual. He was into literature. He was into archaeology and study and, space travel, commanding starships. Rafi, on the other hand, is this brash, loudmouth drunk. Let's just say it. She's a freaking loser, right? She's living in a trailer in the desert in a time where people no longer live in trailers in the desert. She wasn't a character that felt familiar, either in the type of person Picard would typically know or the type of person he would have been friends with. Now, she could have earned her way into that, but the problem is the show started from the premise that you just need to accept her as Picard. It's like, because all we're thinking when he calls on Rafi in the first episode of Picard is, why doesn't he call Geordi? Why doesn't he call Riker? Why doesn't he call Worf? Why doesn't he call anyone else that he used to know? One person that was on the Enterprise. Wesley. Okay, no, not Wesley. Please, for the love of God, not Wesley. Ugh. How does he know her? That's what we're thinking. And the show never faces up to that. Now, what's happening in season 3, again, I had the same reaction to her. I was like, why is she here? In this episode, she's recovering. This is what's amazing. She's getting her life back, and her life is helping people, protecting the Federation, saving lives, being a Starfleet officer. Let me explain something. Terry Matalas understands what it actually means to be a Starfleet officer. That's what we're seeing in Rafi, and that's what's causing her character to grow on me. Because, yes, she lost her way. She became an addict. She got lost for a long time, and it ruined her life. But once a Starfleet officer, always a Starfleet officer. And what do Starfleet officers do? They save lives. They fight for the galaxy. They are the best of the best. And she is earning her way back to that, which is a great storyline and a great aspect of her character. I don't like her yet, but I'm starting to like her. And that is, believe me, that is a miracle for this humble captain. The villain shows up in this episode. Don't remember her name, and I'm not going to look it up. She's hamming it up a little. She's overacting just a touch. But it actually kind of works for Star Trek because Trek has always had slightly larger-than-life characters. Jean-Luc Picard. I really like how she says that. I really do. Look, I get it if you hate this character because she is over the top and she's definitely overacting, but I kind of dig it. Captain Shaw is, I kind of thought he was meant to just be an obstacle for the other character. Look how trained you have me, Kurtzman. Look how trained I am. I'm already, predisposed to think that Shaw is just a throwaway character. He's a surface level character. If anything, he's there to represent, like a MAGA supporter type captain. He's like that. You're supposed to sort of detest this character because he doesn't believe in feelings. And what's interesting is that Shaw is turning out to be a pretty compelling and complex and interesting captain in his own right. Even though we are in the position of disagreeing with him and considering him an obstacle, he's kind of got a point, and he's starting to win me over a little, and he's kind of actually starting to be a little bit fun as a character as well. And I even kind of feel a little bit of sympathy for him. I'm like, damn, his first officer has thrown him under the bus. He's up against these two legendary captains. They're kicking him around, and all he wants to do is just have run a tight ship, keep it running on time, not get his 500 crew killed. I got sympathy for this guy. What can I say? I have a gripe with 7 of 9's situation. Not 7 of 9. 7 of 9 is killing it. I'm loving Jerry Ryan in this season. Who would choose for their first officer someone who is basically hostile to your entire command style? So in other words, establish the reason why these characters are, first of all, associated with each other, and then the reason why they're so at odds. I saw the Picard who was a philosopher. I saw the Picard who was a diplomat. I saw the Picard who was clever and had ideas in a tight situation, and I saw the Picard who could sit in the captain's chair and give a meaningful, tactically sound order that made sense and could save the day. He took charge, he took command. Not as good as he once was, but he can be as good once as he ever was. Sir Patrick Stewart, I owe you a bit of an apology. It wasn't completely your performance that was failing you in the first 2 seasons. It was the writing. Mr. Terry Matalas, I think you have done so far something. You've pulled off a couple of miracles so far. One more for the hat trick, and you're going to be named a saint, sir. We'll put your name forward to the Pope myself. You know, I'll become a Catholic again just for you. I want to make this happen. All right. Is that really all it took? A good writer? That's it? That was all we needed? But I do thank you for listening, sailors and star knots. Please do like and subscribe. I am Captain Garrett. This is Swords and Starships. And until next time, engage. Make sure to check out my novel series, Blood and Oak. It's available now on Amazon. It follows the sword and sails adventures of midshipman John Sullivan. When his sister is kidnapped and sold into slavery by the Barbary pirates, this daring young Navy officer embarks on a suicidal quest for rescue and revenge. It's available now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and a fantastic audiobook narrated by Travis Baldry. I'm not just giving commentary and commenting on the problems in entertainment. I'm doing my best to be part of the solution, and I would be truly honored to earn your readership and your support. Until then, I say hail to you, hail to the fellowship, and hail to the Iron Age of entertainment.